Good morning everyone. Basa na tayo ng Bible. Mabilisan lang guys. Songs of Songs, chapter 1, 2, and 3. And Galatians, chapter 2, buong chapter 2, verse 1 to 21. Basa. Paul accepted by the apostles. 14 years later, I went up again to Jerusalem, this time with Barnabas. I took Titus along also. I went in response to a revelation and set before them the gospel that I preached among the Gentiles. But I did this privately to those who seemed to be leaders, for fear that I was running or had run my race in vain. Yet not even Titus, who was with me, was compelled to be circumcised, even though he was a Greek. This matter arose because some false brothers had infiltrated our ranks to spy on the freedom we have in Christ Jesus and to make us slaves. We did not give in to them for a moment, so that the truth of the gospel might remain with you. Verse 6. As for those who seem to be important, whatever they were makes no difference to me. God does not judge by external appearance. Those men added nothing to my message. On the contrary, they saw that I had been entrusted with the task of preaching the gospel to the Gentiles, just as Peter had been to the Jews. For God, who was at work in the ministry of Peter as an apostle to the Jews, was also at work in my ministry as an apostle to the Gentiles. James, Peter, and John, those reputed to be pillars, gave me and Barnabas the right hand of fellowship when they recognized the grace given to me. They agreed that we should go to the Gentiles, and they to the Jews. All they asked was that we should continue to remember the poor, the very thing I was eager to do. Paul opposes Peter. When Peter came to Antioch, I opposed him to his face because he was clearly in the wrong. Before certain men came from James, he used to eat with the Gentiles. But when they arrived, he began to draw back and separate himself from the Gentiles, because he was afraid to those who belonged to the circumcision group. The other Jews joined him in his hypocrisy, so that by their hypocrisy even Barnabas was led astray. When I saw that they were not acting in line with the truth of the gospel, I said to Peter, in front of them all, "You are a Jew, yet you live like a Gentile, and not like a Jew. How is it then that you force Gentiles to follow Jewish customs? We who are Jews by birth, and not Gentile sinners, know that a man is not justified by observing the law, but by faith in Jesus Christ. So we too have put our faith in Christ Jesus, that we may be justified by faith in Christ and not by observing the law, because by observing the law, no one will be justified." 17. Verse 17. If while we seek to be justified in Christ, it becomes evident that we ourselves are sinners, does that mean that Christ promotes sin? Absolutely not. If I rebelled, that I destroyed, I prove that I am a lawbreaker. For through the law I died to the law so that I might live for God. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not set aside the grace of God, for if righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing. So, dito na tayo sa Song of Songs. 1, 2, 3. Dito muna tayo sa chapter 1. Basa. The Wedding Day, Solomon's Song of Songs. Beloved, let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is more delightful than wine. Pleasing is the fragrance of your perfumes. Your name is like perfume poured out. No wonder the maidens love you. Take me away with you, let us hurry. Let the king bring me into his chambers. Prince, we'll rejoice and delight in you. We will praise you, love. We will praise your love more than wine. Beloved, how right they are How right they are to adore you. Dark am I, yet lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem. dark like the tents of Kedar, like the 10 curtains of Solomon. Do not do not stare at me because I am dark, because I am darkened by the sun. My mother's sons were angry with me and made me take care of the vineyards. My own vineyard I have neglected. Tell me, you whom I love, where you graze your flock, and where you rest your sheep in midday. Why should I be like a bald woman beside bilis na, the flocks of your prince? Prince, if you do not know, most beautiful of women follow the tracks of the sheep and graze your young goats by the tents of the shepherds. Lover, I liken you, my darling, to a Mary harnessed to one of the chariots of Pharaoh. Your cheeks are beautiful with earrings, your neck with the strings of jewels. We will make you earrings of gold studded with silver. Beloved, while the king was at his table, my perfume spread its fragrance. My lover is to me as a sheaf of myrrh resting between my breasts. My lover is to me a cluster of henna blossoms from the vineyard of En-Gedi. Lover, how beautiful you are, my darling. Oh, how beautiful. Your eyes are doves, beloved. How handsome you are, my lover. Oh, how charming, and our bed is verdant. Lover, the beams of our house are cedars. Our rafters are first pala. Sundan niyo ako sa verse 17, ulitin natin. Chapter 1 ng Song of Songs, verse 17. The beams of our house are cedars, our rafters are firs. Beloved, I am Rose of Sharon, a lily of the valleys. Chapter 2 na tayo. Lover, like a lily among thorns is my darling among the maidens. Beloved, like an apple tree among the trees of the forest is my lover among the young men. I delight to sit in his shade, and his fruit is sweet to my taste. He has taken me to the banquet hall, and his banner over me is love. Strengthen me with raisins, refresh me with apples, for I am faint with love. His left arm is under my head, and his right arm embraces me. Imagine niyo guys yung verse 6. His left arm is under my head, and his right arm embraces me. So yung kaliwa niya nandito sa baba ng kanyang ulo, tapos yung right arm niya naka embrace sa kanya, nakayakap sa kanya. Ang sweet, ano? Verse 7. Daughters of Jerusalem, I charge you by the gazelles and by the dust of the field, do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires. Memories of courtship. Verse 8. Listen, my lover. Look, here he comes, leaping across the mountains, bounding over the hills. My lover is like a gazelle or a young stag. Look, there he stands behind our wall, gazing through the windows, peering through the lattice. My lover spoke and said to me, Arise, my darling, my beautiful one, and come with me. See, the winter is past, the rains are over and gone. Ang gusto kong mawala, yung COVID-19. Yeah, ako rin to. Kasi maraming nalulubog sa baha eh. So, dapat mawala na rin. Dapat mawala na rin ang COVID-19, please. Yung sa verse guys, sa verse 11 ba? See, the winter is past, the rains are over and gone. Ang ilalagay ko dyan, the COVID-19 are over and gone. Verse 12. Flowers appear on the earth, the season of singing has come, the cooing of doves is heard in our land. The fig tree forms its early fruit, the blossoming vines spread their fragrance. Arise, come, my darling, my beautiful one, come with me. Lover. My dove is the cliffs of the rock. Yung fig guys, masarap kaya yan. Ilagay niyo sa soup. Tsaka, di ba sabi ni Isaiah, nakakagaling nga yan. Doon sa kay King Hezekiah. Lover, verse 14 na tayo. May dove in the cliffs of the rock, in the hiding places on the mountain shade. Masarap yun eh, yung fig. Yung fruits ng fig, masarap. Lover, verse 14. May dove in the cliffs of the rock, in the hiding places on the mountainside. Show me your face, let me hear your voice, for your voice is sweet, and your face is lovely. Catch for us the foxes, the little foxes that ruin the vineyards, our vineyards that are in bloom. Beloved, my lover is mine, and I am his. He browses among the lilies until the day breaks, and the shadow flee. Turn, my lover, and be like a gazelle, or like a young stag on the rugged hills. All night long on my bed, I look for the one my heart loves. Ay, chapter 3 na pala to. Chapter 3, verse 1. All night long on my bed, I look for the one my heart loves. I looked for him, but did not find him. I will get up now and go about the city through its streets and squares. I will search for the one my heart loves, so I looked for him, but did not find him. The watchmen found me as they made their rounds in the city. Have you seen the one my heart loves? Scarcely, and I passed them. When I found the one my heart loves, I held him and would not let him go, till I had brought him to my mother's house, to the room of the one who conceived me. Daughters of Jerusalem, I charge you, by the gazelles and by the dust of the field, do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires. Memories of engagement. Oh, dito number 2 memories of engagement. Dito naman number 3 memories of engagement. Yung una pala the wedding day. Number 3, memories of engagement. Verse 6 ng chapter 3 ng Song of Songs. Ewan ko guys, tingnan nyo rin yung inyong Bible. Basta ako NIV version ito Kaya meron siyang sagutan eh. Yung lover, beloved, friends, ganon. Memories of engagement. Who is the coming up from the desert like a column of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and incense, made from all the spices of the merchant? Look, it is Solomon courage, escorted by 60 warriors. Ang dami eh. Look, it is Solomon's courage, escorted by 60 warriors, the noblest of Israel, all of them wearing the sword, all experienced in battle, each with his sword at his side, prepared for the terrors of the night. King Solomon made for himself the carriage. He made it of wood from Lebanon. Its posts he made of silver, its base of gold, its seat was upholstered with purple, its interior lovingly inlaid by the daughters of Jerusalem. Come out, you daughters of Zion, and look, the King Solomon wearing the crown with which his mother crowned him on the day of his wedding, the day his heart rejoiced. So hanggang dyan lang yan. Bye everyone, God bless.